Hi, at Business DNA we work with business leaders and business owners every day, and what we are often confronted with is business leaders saying to us, I'm totally overwhelmed, I'm not achieving what I'd like to achieve, and I'm not sure how to become more efficient, and there are things I need to do. So we have a very simple tool to help them figure out what is going to help their job and their satisfaction and their time become more valuable so that they can achieve what they think is necessary for them in a week. So this tool involves 4 Russians. Yes, 4 Russians, and you'll understand in a moment why. But what we're trying to look at when we start using the 4 Russians is we want to be very clear about the outcomes of the job that you are doing as a leader. So if we understand the outcomes of your job, then when we think about the 4 Russians, then you'll become really obvious to you as to what you can do differently. So who are these 4 Russians? Well, first of all, I like to put it on a piece of paper like this, and I draw them into boxes. Now, the first thing is, there is a bloke we call LESSOV. Now, poor old LESSOV says to you, what do I need to do less of in your role? What am I doing that is of little value that I don't need to do when I've got other people in my team? So the idea here is to list as many functions that you need to do less of. Right. Checking emails is one of the key ones that I often hear about. I have so many emails from my suppliers, I have so many emails from my staff, I have family emails, I've got them coming in all the time. But how can I do less of? What I need to know is I need to do less of them. It's a matter of figuring out what I'm going to do there. So after we work with Mr. LESSOV, we then need to introduce Mr. RIDOV. Now Mr. RIDOV is things that we should stop doing, never do again, give away to somebody else in our organisation. And unfortunately many business leaders feel that there are things that they must do because they're the boss. In actual fact, they do not provide any value, and there are other people in their team that can do that function. Many business leaders find this a really hard one to figure out. Sometimes they're really obvious, and that might be organising the maintenance of their vehicles or something like that. They don't need to do it, they've got other people in their team to do it. However, what I find is the easiest way to fill this box in and the one up above is to actually ask your staff. It's a very confronting thing, but every time we've done that for an organisation and we've got the team involved, they're very good at telling you what the boss should do less of and what he should give away, because they can see what needs to be happening and they are the best ones to talk to. So Mr. RIDOV, he's pretty hard. Sometimes he's a little denting on the ego, but very critical to do, because unless you create the space that these two give you, you can't do the other two, meet the other 2 Russians. Now the next Russian that's most important is, what do I need to do more of? Right? Now more of is a really critical one. This is where you're already adding value to your business, but you're not doing enough of that. Now a good example of that is key customer visits. Key customer visits. Another most important thing that you might need to do more of is run team planning meetings. Right. Or negotiate with suppliers to get higher rebates. So Mr. Morov is recognising that you're already adding value in lots of areas, but if I had more time, I could spend more time getting better outcomes for the business. And then, of course, who's the last Russian we need to worry about? And this is Mr. TOSSIN. Mr. TOSSIN is about what can I now do, seeing I do less of this and I have got rid of that. What do I need to toss in that will allow me to really grow my business or change my business or change the culture in my organisation? And an example of what something you could toss in could be acquire a new business. A thing you could also do that you might have to toss in is redesign your service model. And certainly at the moment, in the change environment that we're dealing with, where every business is looking at whether they have to pivot and adapt or move to a thrive environment as a result of COVID-19, we're certainly looking at lots of business having to toss in lots more roles and responsibilities to the senior management team in an organisation. So there are lots of things in here, and this one you usually find the secrets by talking to your outside advisors and to your senior management team, because they know what's going on and they know what they'd like to us to do. It's usually about trying to reach things that are in your strategic plan. And maybe if you're not doing a strategic plan or direction, that's something that you need to put in here. So, the four Russians: Mr. LESSOV, Mr. RIDOV, Mr. MOROV, and Mr. TOSSIN are really key Russians that can help you change the way you perform and the outcomes you achieve for your business as a business leader. At Business DNA, we're helping business leaders all the time confront what their role is and what they need to achieve out of their work week. So I recommend that try it yourself, involve your team, or come and see us at Business DNA and we'll help you change your role and get a better outcome for your business.